I'm Wendy Lee with Bobby and Kathy's Omaha Houses Team. I'm the listing coordinator for the team. And I also, in my other life, own a small business called Wendy Lee's Creations. I bake home-baked desserts and I deliver them fresh to your door. The desserts are baked to order. Now last year around Christmas time, I showed you how to make my family's favorites, butter balls. It's a cookie that we make around Christmas time. This year, since it's closer to Thanksgiving and the beginning of fall, I thought about showing you how to make pumpkin bread. When I think fall, I think pumpkin and spices, that kind of thing. So anyway, we're going to make some pumpkin bread today. So let's get started. First of all, this is the pumpkin bread. This is what it's going to look like when you're finished. It's a very dense, moist bread with a crusty outside layer. You can put nuts in it or not. It's totally up to you, whatever you like. So let's get started. First of all, when you do your pumpkin bread, you got to mix your ingredients, but you got to mix them separately. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients. For your dry ingredients, you use 3½ cups of flour. Then you're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking soda to the flour. You can add salt if you prefer. I try not to. Most things that you use are salted already, so I try not to use salt, but that's, again, it's totally up to your taste. You're going to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. You're going to add that to your flour mixture. And a teaspoon of nutmeg. There's all different varieties of cinnamon. You use whatever you like best. And then we're going to do a ½ teaspoon of cloves. And a ½ teaspoon of ginger. And the ginger is the secret here. That's what really brings the rest of the spices out. So you want to make sure that you put your ginger in here. ½ teaspoon of ground ginger. Now you just whisk that all together so it's blended really well. And your final product is going to look like that. It's just flour and cinnamon blended together. All right, now in your next bowl, you're going to mix your wet ingredients. And in this bowl, you're going to use a 15-ounce can of pumpkin. I like to use the 100% pure. They do have the pumpkin that's already spiced for pumpkin pie, but I found for me that doesn't taste as good. It doesn't have as many spices in it as we like to put on our bread. So 15-ounce can of the 100% pure pumpkin. You put that in your bowl, the separate bowl, not the one with the dry ingredients in it. And then we add 4 eggs. Now you can, I like to beat my eggs before I put them in. You can do it either way. So I have 4 beaten eggs that you add to the pumpkin mixture. Then you're going to add, this is 1 cup of oil. The recipe calls for vegetable oil. I use canola. I just think it's healthier for you, but again, it's up to you what you use. Plus 2/3 cup water. You add that to your eggs and your pumpkin. And finally, you add 3 cups of sugar. Now you're going to mix this together. Use your whisk and mix it together. The key when you're making homemade breads, sweet breads, is you want to mix your ingredients until they're just mixed together. You don't want to overmix because that really changes the consistency of your bread. So let's get this whisked together till it looks like it's all combined. Alright, so it's just barely mixed together. Everything's combined. Now you're going to add your dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. You always add dry to wet when you're making sweet breads. You whisk that together. Again, just until it's just combined. You can use a spatula to stir. I find a whisk works a little bit better. It combines a little bit quicker. Make sure you scrape the bottom so you get all the flour mixed in together. And your bread's ready to put in the pan and throw in the oven. Now I use 4 by 8 pans. With this recipe, you can use, this will make 2 loaves of your 4 by 8. You can also use the 3 by 7 pans and make 3 loaves. It's up to you, whatever size bread you like to do. You flour them and grease them. You can also use the spray, the baking spray. Make sure it's baking spray if you're going to use it because it has flour in it. Otherwise, if you just use the regular pan, it'll still stick to the pan. So you want to be careful to use the one with flour in it. I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way. I just feel like the spray adds a little bit of an artificial taste to it. So we're ready to pour into the pans. I can't get that up. Next step is we're going to throw it in the oven. This is the best part because your home's going to smell like pumpkin and spices. It's a great smell. Reminds you of fall. Before you throw it in the oven though, I like to top my pumpkin bread with pecans and a little bit of sugar. Again, this is completely up to your taste. If you don't like nuts, don't put them in there. It's not going to change the flavor of the bread at all. It's either whatever works best for you. So if you do like nuts, just sprinkle a few on there. And then sprinkle a little sugar on top of that. And these are ready to go into the oven. Now we're going to bake them in an oven that's set at 350. And you're going to bake them for 60 minutes. If you're using the 4 by 8 pans, bake it for 60 minutes. Then you check it. You use the toothpick test. If it comes out clean, it's done. If it's not done at 60 minutes, set your timer at 2-minute increments after that. You don't never want to overcook your bread, then you're going to have dry, crumbly bread. Okay, we're in the oven for 60 minutes. We'll test it and see how it comes out. All right, this bread looks perfect. This is what your bread's going to look like when it's done. I do use pecans, so this has pecans and sugar on the top of it. Now you take it out of the pan. Kind of loosen the sides a little bit. And if everything works as it's supposed to, it should just pop right out of the pan for you. And you have nice, warm, fresh pumpkin bread ready to go. There you have it. Fresh baked pumpkin bread. Your family will love it. It's going to make your house smell great, and it's going to remind you of fall. I would love to do something for you sometime. If you'd like, go to my website, www.wendyleescreations.com, or you can call me at 402-214-5001. Let Wendy Lee's Creations become a holiday tradition for your family. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.